out in the Arizona Fall League, Cardinals prospect. He's fast. Victor Scott joins us right now. Victor, how's it going, man?
Man, I can't complain, man. Arizona's great. Just kind of loving the weather out here. Everywhere is kind of else is a little cold, but out here is nice and warm. So can't complain at all.
Oh, it's good living. Arizona Fall League. Obviously, we're talking to a lot of players throughout this month about life out there. I always like to do this, bring our combo that we just had over to you. More simply put, you're not in the big leagues yet, but just how is the communication process for a prospect in terms of what you need to work on and who are you talking to? And did you have a meeting right after the season where they were like, Victor, the problem is we were really looking for about 120 stolen bags out of you, and you didn't even get to 100 this year.
Slacker. Yeah, oftentimes it kind of just streamlines from like the farm directors or like hitting coordinators, especially like as a hitter for me. But it's just about like all like what you need to work on and kind of like what the big league club needs and kind of how you would provide service in that aspect.
What do you need to work on? What were you told, and what do you think you need to work on? Because I think you've got base running down.
Yeah, it honestly was like a big time adjustment for me because in college I was a 3-hole hitter, so oftentimes I was trying to hit for doubles and get RBIs and all that good stuff. And then kind of when I got into pro ball, my identity changed from a 3-hole hitter to a leadoff man, a table setter. So when I first got here, working with like Russ and working with Daniel, it was kind of like a more level swing, kind of get yourself on base more, and then you to really utilize the ability to run. So that helped out a lot.
Oh, I thought you had another question.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't know if Kratz. All right, so let's go over life with the St. Louis Cardinals right now. Who do you know in the organization? Who have you spoken to? And were you in spring training with the ball club?
Yeah, I was. I wasn't in big league spring training, but I was in like a step camp where we would go like up and down from either like the minor league side to the big league side, kind of just every day.
Did you get that meal money though? Did you get the big league meal money in step up camp or?
Nah, unfortunately I didn't, but I wish.
Need that. How does a guy from Georgia end up at West Virginia?
Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of like a late decision for me almost. I wasn't really like severely scouted in high school, so West Virginia was like a Power 5 school that gave me an opportunity to come in and start my freshman year, and that was like something I didn't want to deny when I first got that offer. So, being said that, I made that choice, and then it ended up working out for me.
Yeah, it worked out really well. Hey, did you get your Cardinal Way book yet? Because I hear Cardinal prospects get the Cardinals Way book. And have you read through the entire book?
Haven't read through the entire book, but I do have it at home. So I've read a couple of pages, couple of chapters, but haven't read through the entire book yet.
Does it inhibit you somewhat from like putting out some pretty sick pictures of you in like Cowboy Day, like showing off the muscles or anything like that?
No, I wouldn't say so. I kind of been disassociating that with just like more so like building your brand, kind of letting people know who you are outside of baseball, showing your personality on social media. So yeah, that's a funny picture show.
That's a good picture. I like that.
Picture.
Yeah, we had Reggie on the other day, and Reggie was saying he didn't. I still think Reggie was holding his. He was going like extra to give an extra bicep. I think he was. I know he's a big dude. But he was pushing it out a little bit, trying to get a little extra.
Yeah, Reggie put some sunscreen on before we went out. We went out there and did that. He said it was going to make him glisten a little bit. So I was like, it's crazy. It was crazy.
Hey, do you think on the whole, like promoting your, building your brand stuff? Do you feel like something? Obviously, I don't know what's in the Cardinal Way book, but you see. It seems like it's very like the Cardinal Way kind of comes across as kind of boring. I know you're a Cardinal prospect, but is there something to building your brand and still having like respect for the game?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like it's like a fine line because a lot of the times like you can build your brand, but like it's really just like, as I see it, just for like letting others show or like know who you are, know your personality. But like kind of disassociating that from baseball, just like allowing them, because everybody's going to see what you do on the field, but then no one necessarily gets to see kind of like how you live your life outside of the field. So just kind of letting everybody know, like, look, I'm just not a baseball player. Like, I'm a bowler, I'm a ping pong player, I'm an artist. So kind of just letting everyone know, like, okay, look, I'm more than just the identity of a baseball player.
So, Victor, do you feel like there's a process to get to that point to show more of your personality where, for example, I mean, Randy Arozarena has an act, right? And he's like that all the time and he's able to be his true self. Do you feel like if there's a player who wants to express themselves that much, like Randy does, that you have to be in the bigs, you have to show some success, and then you can really let loose? Because ultimately, and we talk about this a lot on our show, our game needs more of that. So if there are barriers, there are definitely some of them being broken where, guys are able to come up and be themselves more. And some teams that we speak to, they'll say, like, I mean, we're talking to Max Muncy right after we speak with you, and he says, hey, we let the rookies do their thing. Like there's no judgment. It's just be yourself, have fun, and do whatever you need to do. So do you feel like there's a process there? And do you think that it's changing at all?
Yeah, I most definitely feel like it's a process, because like the world kind of is like a big time like social media input world. Like with even like with brand deals and things like that, those brands want you to kind of promote yourself on your social media so they can give you a chance. It doesn't like always come down to your performance on the field. It's kind of just like your notoriety and like the image that you're portraying of yourself. So yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of go to here too. Is it hard to express yourself as like, the brand that you're building if you're not doing as well? Like, let's say you come out next year and you only average 10 stolen bases per month. You're really slumping with your stolen bases instead of 20 a month. Like, is it hard to like, you know what, I better not do this right now because I didn't play real well?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's like a factor into it, but it all just kind of comes down to like confidence and how you kind of go about like your everyday life. So I feel like if I weren't to like continue building my brand in those times, and people would kind of could portray me as like fake, or he's only doing this when he's doing well, or he's only doing this when he has the hype right now. But I mean, everyone kind of goes through like a tough period where they'll struggle. So I feel like if I were to continue doing that in that time period, it would kind of just show like, all right, look, he's just continuing to show how he is, who he is off the field, because he's not just a baseball player when it comes to down to it at the end of the day.
Vic, you got a couple chains on. One's Vic, one looks like a lightning bolt. If you get 100 stolen bases, are you going to get like a big 100 around your neck? I mean,
in the majors or minors?
Either
Anywhere.
one. I mean, 100's a big number.
No,
First of all, 94, we
even...
couldn't get to 100 this year. I mean, what's happening here?
Hundreds of 100. Don't let Scott hate on 100. I can tell you all the people I played against that had 100 stolen bases in the minor leagues. It is not many. Billy Hamilton, Wayne Leiden, and Angel Pagan. That's it.
Angel Pagan.
Angel Pagan?
I might have overstepped saying Angel Pagan.
I'm
gonna look at that.
Yeah, I don't think he stole 100. Billy Hamilton, for sure.
Yeah.
And the other guy, I don't even never heard of him. So he
Wayne
probably didn't do it.
Wayne Leiden.
All right, so let's get back to my question. Are you going to get a big 100 chain if you get to 100?
Potentially, it might be like a gift from somebody. So hopefully it can happen.
You already have 100. You already got 9 in the fall league. That's 103 stolen bases.
That don't count. I need to see 100.
Fall league counts. Fall league's hard.
Hey,
94 9. No, I need to see 100.
Look,
it's like they're going to be like, oh, I need to see a hundo.
Just because AJ wouldn't have thrown you out and I would have thrown you out, I'm the one that AJ. You were getting the hits. I'm throwing people out. Okay, let me have something. Let me have something, AJ.
I know about Billy Hamilton.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm just saying.
AJ's got 2,000 hits in the show, and I got not even 2,000 innings caught. So.
Okay, well, life has become a little bit easier too, right? So when you get up to the show, there were changes this year. Stolen bases were up. Kratz, you're the numbers guy. Was it 40% this year in the bigs? Is that the number?
I don't know. I don't know the percentage, but
it was a lot. It was a lot.
What do you mean 40% what?
The overall number of stolen bags this year?
Oh, it was 85% making it, which is like the
No,
highest
no.
percentage.
Right, that's the
No.
success rate. Yes, was
Yeah.
up, but
Oh,
the overall
it was
number
up
of
a lot. It
stolen
was up a
bags
ton.
was up a lot. So, Victor, for you, when you saw officially last offseason that those rules were going to be put in place about, limited pickoffs, bigger bases, right? Stuff like that. Did you do one of these? Like, let's go. I might steal an extra 20, 30 bags when I get up there.
Yeah, it definitely helps out a person like a guy of like my kind of forte on the field because essentially when you only have two pickoff attempts and then you say like you utilize two, I can almost just bank on you pitching on the next one if you slide step or high leg lift, like it doesn't matter at that point. So I mean those rules, the time limit helps out kind of speed the game up a little bit. So if you're not in shape, if you're not ready for like that type of pace of play, then as a pitcher, you're really focused on just getting out the hitter. So then they lose complete interest in like what I'm doing, and now I can kind of just roam free almost.
What if a hitting coach? How confident are you in your hitting? Just confident or not confident? Good.
I would say confident.
Okay. What if a hitting coach comes to you next year and is like, all right, hey, I want you to start driving the ball out of the ballpark? Are you a guy that's going to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that? Or are you like, you know what? I'm going to stick where I'm at.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to say I'm going to stick where I'm at. That's where I've had the most success at. So, like in college, I was the drive the ball at the ballpark guy, and I hit 6 homers. So that really don't work too well for me. So I'm just going to stick to the table setting routine.
Well, and the game's changing here. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to
Look
get
at the Diamondbacks.
right.
You look at some of these teams that are left. They steal bases now. Like they run. It's not just hit the ball out of the ballpark. They steal bases.
Also, I think following a player like Andrew Benintendi in his career, you know how he came up, he's such a great contact guy, and then he tried to become more of a pop guy. It didn't really work out.
How many homers he
tried
hit
to
this
go
year?
back. Like, yeah, 2. Right.
AJ's also a White Sox fan. Vic,
Yeah, so I might
know.
But I'm just saying, like, following his track has
I'm a
been
Cardinals
interesting.
fan. I take that personal.
Yeah, you played there.
I did. Legend there. Legend in Cardinals world.
Hey,
Victor,
Vic,
no, I do. I want to. Speaking of the Cardinals, have they ever brought like Willie McGee? I know was a big league coach, but they had Vince Coleman, Willie McGee. They had some dudes that could run back in the '80s. And they brought them around and said, "Hey, Victor, like we're going to teach you all these little tricks so you can get to 100."
Yeah. So actually, I talked to both Willie McGee and Vince Coleman. Vince Coleman more than McGee, but I talked to Willie McGee a lot during spring training, and just kind of picking his brain about like how they played the game back in the day because I feel like that's what's coming back. And then with Vince Coleman, I was at the Futures game, and like a guy from my agency texted me say Vince Coleman's downstairs, and I don't know how fast I ran down those stairs to like go meet that guy because I'm like, man, this is somebody who genuinely knows how to base steal, genuinely knows how to play the game. So I went down there, talked to him, picked his brain, and then we kind of still share a good connection like to this day.
okay, so what's the next big rule change to the bigs? Because you've played in some of the experimental situations, right, in the minors? Because you know how like each league's got different testing going on. Oh, what have you experienced? What have you liked? What have you thought? We don't need that in the bigs.
I have like like with the ABS strike zone, the automatic strike zone. That one's kind of it could be pitcher friendly because there are some times where like a pitch will like be like a dirt ball for a catcher, but it like clip the bottom of the zone. So like the catcher's blocking the ball, but it's a strike. So that one's like a little iffy. Opposed to like the rule changes, like with the time clock. I like the time clock. It helps kind of speed up the game a little bit. It's only 2 pickoff attempts on the third one. You have to get them. I mean, that works in my favor, so I want that rule around. And then the challenging strikes, I would say like sometimes normally like if you're challenging it, then it's probably close enough for you to swing in a 2-strike count, or even if you're not at a 2-strike count. So I would say like probably not with the challenges, but I mean that's to each his own.
How about the challenges? Because I was watching some of your steals. Now the ones you got caught going to third, you were kind of out. Looked like you didn't get some good jumps. I didn't see one at second base that I was like, we got to take a look at that. Like you might have had 8 more stolen bases if there was a system, like I'm just watching your video from the minor leagues, and that's what I saw.
Yeah, most definitely. Like a lot of the times, like if the throw either beats you or the throw is like on top of your head and your arms are in there, because of their angle, because of like the umpires like positioning, they'll always call you out. Like it doesn't matter anything. If that throw either beats you or it's like, or they make like serious contact like with your body, they're gonna call you out no matter what. So you can get tagged like on your leg while you're sliding. Potentially they're gonna call you out because of like the impact of the tag. So it's definitely a difficult situation for bang bang plays for them though.
How many do you think of those? I mean, you remember them, so in your mind, how many do you think of those were you like, yeah, I was definitely out on that? Because I'll be honest, maybe I didn't see all of them. I didn't see any where it was like, man, he got you at second. I'm talking just in second.
I always had kind of like I wouldn't have like something to say like in like an aggressive manner, but I would always like come back after the inning was over and be like what'd you see right there? And he'd be like, I don't know, I think the throw beat you. And anytime I hear like the word I think, then they don't really know. So.
Well, they're going to get it right. When you get up to the big leagues, they're going to get it right with the replay. That is something that is, yeah, they're going to get it right. But you got to figure out not getting thrown out stealing third. I saw too many on there for your speed. You can't be getting thrown out going to third.
Yeah, it's all about the jump and timing with that one.
No doubt. What's the in the fall league? Now, a lot of people don't know, like, the games are fun, but like, who are the guys you're hanging out with outside of the field? Because for me, a lot of the stuff we did at the fall league, yeah, you played games, and for me, you're out there you're not playing every single day. But who are the dudes that you're hanging out with outside of the fall league? Outside of the games, I mean.
Yeah, I would say Trey Lipscomb with the Nationals. We hang out a lot. Robert Hassel with the Nationals. Me and Reggie too, Giants. Sonny DeShera, great guy with the Angels. And even my teammates here like Jimmy Crooks or Takoa or Jerpy, like we all just kind of hang out with those guys for sure.
You got a whole apartment, like all those people in one apartment?
Nah, it's just so like each team like buys their own players like their own like apartments. So I live with like Cardinals guys, like all the Cardinals guys are here, all the Nationals guys are here, all the Angels, so on and so forth.
What? So you don't even pay for your apartment?
No, they pay for housing, so it's really nice setup for sure.
Hey, that's big time. That's big time because we had to put 6 dudes in an apartment because we were making I think we were making $1,600 or $1,700 a month when we were out there. So, dang, you're living the big life. You guys got a house? What do you guys got?
We have like an apartment. It's a pretty nice apartment, like right across from Arizona State. So, really nice setup for sure.
That's huge. Have they told you if you're? Oh, things have definitely changed. I love that. That's great. We're trying to figure out how to make ends meet, cramming 6 dudes into a G6 Pontiac G6 with our rental car. It didn't work.
Yeah, that's brutal. That just sounds brutal.
Oh yeah,
I slept on an air mattress on the floor.
Air mattress.
How many people were in the
1, 2. There was 4
place?
of us. One guy. We had 2 bedrooms. The 2 dudes with kids slept in the bedrooms because they had kids coming in and out. And then me and my other roommate, one slept on the couch. I slept on an air mattress on the floor.
I snored, so I got my own room. But we had 6 dudes.
And kids are coming in and out with that many people around? That's just not good.
We didn't have the kid. We didn't play the kid game.
You had to play the kid game?
What was I supposed to do? Tell my roommates you can't bring your kids?
Tell them don't have kids until you're out of the Arizona.
No, you tell them to go get a hotel, man.
Dude, they didn't have any money.
They can't afford
They
it
didn't have
back
any
then,
money.
Kratz.
I know. You don't gotta tell me about no money. I was a grinder. Grinder, Vic. Grinder.
Well, no, life's good, and I'm glad the changes have been made.
Yeah, it's
necessary.
for the best. Oh, trust me, it's much better than what it used to be.
What is it, a $14 billion industry? I think we can handle some better living accommodations, right? Yeah. Well, Victor, glad to hear, man. It was awesome getting to chat with you for a little bit. Have fun finishing up there, and we'll talk to you next season.
Most definitely. Thank y'all for having me.